everybody, it's Harriet from Heal Yourself with Harriet, and today I wanted to give you a look into what a practice session of brain rewiring looks like. And this is based off of the DNRS, or Dynamic Neural Retraining System model of brain rewiring. And there's an entire methodology to this practice, to creating your own version of these rounds, of these skills, of these techniques. And you really need to get the course to go through it all. It's taught as a 3-day seminar, or the paced course where you can do it yourself at your own pace. It took me, I think, like a week to go through it, but I did it multiple times to make sure I fully understood every step fully in its entirety. And it requires an hour a day for 6 months of practice. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it actually becomes a part of your day that you really look forward to, because you have it as time for yourself, where you're working to better yourself and you're working to turn your thoughts towards positivity and healing. And if you can view it as medicine, it's taking my medicine every day, doing the brain rewiring and the rounds, or the practice session, whatever it is that you want to call it. And I don't know how long this one's going to go, but you're supposed to do an hour. And traditionally it looks like 4 15-minute practice rounds, or you can just do a huge long 1 hour practice round. And I've linked down below so you can check out the course for yourself if you want to see what it's all about. It's the cheapest of all of the brain rewiring, compared to Gupta, lightning process, which is a seminar that can cost, I think it's $1,400, and then Primal Trust, which is a lot more expensive. But I do think they have a monthly membership, which I am going to maybe check out and I can do a review. Okay, so this is a brain rewiring 1 hour practice session. This is what my practice sessions sometimes look like. And it's weird doing this out loud, it's interesting doing it in front of a camera, but I really loved, it's also Lisa Heal Yourself. I misspoke and I didn't name her properly in the last round, but she's amazing. So the purpose of these trainings is to rewire your brain, your nervous system, and let your limbic system know it's safe. It's safe to get out of fight or flight. It's safe to heal. It's safe to relax. It's safe to turn off the alarm bells and the signs of danger that your limbic system has been misinterpreting, or environmental stressors that your limbic system's been interpreting as dangerous, therefore causing issues and symptoms in your body. For a long time, with protracted benzo withdrawal, I struggled with so many symptoms for such a long time, but one of the last ones to go because of this brain rewiring is feeling uncomfortable being in a car. It was so validating. In one of the protracted withdrawal groups I used to be a part of on Facebook, somebody had posted saying, does anybody else feel like they are on a freaking roller coaster when they're a passenger or in the car sometimes? It feels like their nervous system, with the inertia and the gravity, can't keep up, and you feel your body freaks out. I was that person for years. I hated being a passenger. I hated being in a car. God forbid the idea of going on a roller coaster. Blew my mind how people would want to do those types of activities for fun. My whole life was a roller coaster. Being in a car, my nervous system felt like it was on a roller coaster. Brain rewiring has allowed me to now be in the car, be on airplanes, take road trips without the fear, with my nervous system knowing it's safe. And it's the best feeling in the entire world, because it gives you this sense of freedom. And this is just the best practice if you need hope, if you need to know that you can heal. I am an example. I am your, person that you can look to be this girl was terrible. This girl was awful. She was so sick for so long, for so many years. You can find my Benzo Buddy posts if you look hard enough. I don't think I'm allowed to share my username or whatever, but I posted about my journey for a very long time, from tapering to it was a nightmare. But being on the other side of it is the biggest gift. And I owe it all to brain retraining and rewiring my nervous system, not just with DNRS, but with EFT, with yoga, with trauma therapy, with inner child healing, all stuff that I'm going to cover on this channel. It's beautiful. And the joy that I feel and the propensity for positive thinking and just everything is beautiful. And I'm so excited to share it with you all. Okay, let's get into our brain retraining. Stop. 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 My brain is stuck in a rut and is sending my body false messages. In the past, these messages would cause me to experience a wave of symptoms. They felt like symptoms of illness. In reality, they were symptoms of a dysregulated nervous system and a misfiring nervous system. My limbic system was trying to keep myself safe. My reptilian brain thought it was in danger, and to try to take in very normal sensory things, scents, strong smelling candles, cleaning products, noises, stressful TV shows, horror movies, being in a car, doing basic things like that. My body and my limbic system and my nervous system were misinterpreting these environmental things as dangerous. My nervous system was misfiring and my limbic system was not healthy. It wasn't functioning properly. So things in the past, things that before I got sick, before I went through withdrawal, before I went through long COVID, that never bothered me before and that I actually loved: perfume, skincare, makeup, scented candles, cleaning products, things that I used to enjoy, going to loud concerts, going to the movies, car trips. I never loved being in a plane, but traveling, all these things before never freaked out my nervous system because my limbic system interpreted these things through a healthy lens. My limbic system wasn't misfiring or not working properly. It was healthy. So healed, healthy me knows, my higher self, my future healed self knows, these things are not the problem. It's not the scents. It's not the food. It's not the candles. It's not the makeup. It's not the skincare products. It's not any of these things that cause issues. It's my brain's faulty wiring and misfiring and misinterpreting of these things as being dangerous that causes the symptoms. And I'm not going to go into those symptoms because a huge part of the brain rewiring process is not focusing on the negative or the symptoms. But limbic system, I feel so bad because for so long you felt unsafe. You felt under attack and you felt like you had to freak out in order to keep me safe and send these faulty wiring signals to my brain, causing these issues. And that created the trauma loop in my brain, the chronic illness loop, where I felt these symptoms. It created more fear in my brain. The fear in my brain then fueled more symptoms, and there was never a feeling of safety. I was living in a sympathetic dominant state. My nervous system was living in a sympathetic dominant state. My fight or flight system was always activated, and I could not activate the parasympathetic rest and digest system that my body needed in order to heal, in order to feel safe, in order to access joy. And I want to just send love to my limbic system for working so hard for such a long time, trying to keep me safe and doing such a good job at working hard. But limbic system, I want you to know you don't have to do those things anymore. You were not working with the right information. You did not have all of the right information. And we have uploaded this new system, this new nervous system retraining, this DNRS training, and this new programming, this new computer, this hardware computer programming override of our previous operating systems with the correct firing in our brains, with the correct way of thinking for our nervous systems, for our nervous system, for our body, for our limbic system. And this new program is going to be doing things differently because what we were doing before wasn't working for us. The way we were living our life, it was not from a joyful, expansive, positive place. It was preventing us from living our life the way that we wanted. It was causing issues in our daily life. So we are taking this new programming that we have learned through our brain rewiring, through our visualizations, through our healing meditations, through our yoga, through our EFT, through our inner child healing sessions. We are taking this new programming and we are uploading it into the database of our limbic system and our nervous system. And that is going to run the show. And that's going to keep us safe. And that's going to allow us to live from a place of positivity, healing, and joy. That is going to be our new default. And it's okay, nervous system. It's okay that you struggled for such a long time. You were doing the best that you could. I'm sending love right now back to my scared inner child, my inner child who has never felt safe in her own body, who has been hypervigilant all of her life. And no, it didn't affect me fully to the extent that it did, where it impacted my life that severely until I went through benzodiazepine withdrawal. But I've always been a hypervigilant child. I've always scanned my environment for danger. I've always been in a position where I've been trying to manage other people's emotions and outbursts and anger and all of this stuff so it didn't negatively affect me. It was a way of trying to keep myself safe, mitigating situations and trying to squash anger. Speaking to that inner child portion of myself, I'm telling myself, I'm so sorry for what you had to go through. I'm so sorry that you grew up thinking that the adults in your life and their emotional state and their happiness was dependent upon you and what you did, and that you thought that you could control their outbursts, their anger, their health, their wellness. You were just a kid, and that was too much for you to have to carry. But adult me is now in charge. Adult me has got you. Adult me is never going to abandon you or betray your trust. Adult me is going to stand up for you and your beliefs, always. And I'm sorry about the cars. Filming out here is the best option. Just can be a little loud sometimes. Inner child version of me, I want you to know that I know you were scared. I know there's a part of you still that feels scared. And when that part is activated, I want you to know that adult me has got you. And it's okay. Your nervous system, we're rewiring it now for safety, not just so we can feel safe in the future and heal ourselves, so that we can go back in time and heal for that little younger version of ourselves that felt unsafe in the world, that felt scared. And healing those parts of ourselves are healing the future version of ourselves. They're creating this healed future version of ourselves that is beautiful and going to let us live the life that we have always dreamed of, the life that the little version of us always wanted. Traveling the world, getting married, having kids, raising a family, going on beautiful walks in the countryside with our dogs, going hiking, going and seeing all of the beauty in the world without issues from a broken, misfiring limbic system. That is why we are committing to this practice every day. This is why we are talking to our limbic system and our nervous system and telling them, you're working as a team now. And I know you are tired, and I want you to know now it's safe to rest. It's safe. We are safe. We are safe in our body. We are safe in our relationships. We are safe in our home. We are safe in this present moment. We are safe to feel joy. We're safe to create happiness. We're safe to hope and dream and make plans for the future without fear of illness. We're safe. And repeating this daily, this practice for an hour a day, is an act of self-love. Your limbic system, you've been misfiring, but now there's a new program running you. You can relax now. It's safe to flip that switch to off. You don't have to be in control anymore. Our new programming has got us because we're safe. We are safe in this moment. Nervous system, I love you. I love you for trying to keep me safe all these years. I love you for wanting my best interests at heart. But you are safe to experience peace and joy and love. You are allowed to experience all of these things for no reason other than the fact that you're alive and that you're breathing and that today's a beautiful day. I love you, nervous system. I'm going to show you that it is safe. It's safe to relax, and it's safe to tap in to healing and joy. And we're going to do that through gratitude, and we're going to do that through rehearsing and visualizing in our minds this healed future self of ours, because our brain doesn't know the difference between a real memory and a fake one. So we are going to rehearse in our minds the future that we want, that we will soon be living in great detail. And we're going to do it in a way that triggers the release of positive neurochemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin in our brain, and literally rewire our brain to experience joy more frequently and rewire our brain to feel safe doing these activities that we are going to be visualizing ourselves doing in the future. And this can be anything. And I have many different visualizations that I use for this practice, but I'm going to walk you through one of my favorites. And this is going to be obviously specific to me and my life. And part of DNRS teaches you how to make these visualizations unique to you. And the whole point is to trigger the release of these happy, feel-good chemicals. And you can do that through adding in music. Music is one of the few ways that actually engages our entire limbic system, our entire nervous system. And I actually have a happy playlist on my Spotify that I'll share down below that I will listen to while doing these visualizations. But for now, I just want to talk to you and do it without music. But you also can go in and add sound effects later on. I would record myself. I still do. I record myself on the Notes app or the voice memo app in my phone. And it's good to use a visualization as many times as you want, honestly. I know in DNRS, they do say if you use something 3 times, it starts to lose its efficacy. But for me, if I can go back in and make these visualizations longer and richer and more detailed, they actually can help a lot. So I will reuse the same visualizations over and over again until I stop feeling those feel-good chemicals, and then I'll move on to a new one. So, it's a beautiful summer day in San Diego, where I live. And I'm so grateful to live in such a beautiful place that I can wake up almost every day in the summer and know it's going to be sunny and beautiful. And I wake up in my home in Encinitas, overlooking the ocean, with my husband and my dog, Toby, my French bulldog. We're all laying in bed together, and the sun is coming in through the window. I can look out through the window and I see the sunshine overlooking the ocean and shining down on the ocean and lighting it up, and just like the waves and the sun are just dancing together in beautiful harmony. And it's so pretty. And I wake up, I cuddle with my husband, we bring our dog into the center like we do every morning. We all snuggle as a family, rub his belly, tell him what a good boy he is. And my husband and I cuddle and we talk about what a beautiful day we're about to have and all of the fun things that we have planned. And he gets up and he makes me a cup of coffee. And it's so amazing that now I've done the brain rewiring, that coffee and caffeine no longer negatively affects me. In fact, it makes me feel so good. And he puts the pod in the Nespresso machine and he starts to brew it, and that smell of fresh coffee just fills our home. And he even goes and gets the milk out of the fridge that I like, and he uses the frother and he adds that frothed foamy milk to my freshly brewed coffee. Oh, and it just smells so good, and he knows exactly how to make it. He does it for me every morning, just how I like it, and he brings it to me in bed and hands it to me. He gets his coffee, and we sit in bed, and we do a crossword puzzle in the newspaper, like we do every Sunday. And we're laughing, and we're trying to figure out some of these more nuanced, random crossword suggestions and hints, and we're just having the best time. And I am able to utilize all these parts of my brain. I don't have brain fog. I feel so sharp, and I feel smart, and I feel strong, and I just have so much energy, and I'm so excited for this day that we're gonna have together. And my husband looks at me and he says, "Do you want to take Toby out for a walk, and we can go walk to Panikin?" Which is a amazing coffee shop. They have food and baked goods and pastries, and it's amazing, and it's close to where we live. So we say yes. And I say, "Toby, you want to go for a walk?" And he goes, yes, I do. And so I put his leash on him. He's smiling at me, grabs some poop bags and potentially a ball. He loves to play ball. And we get dressed and we walk out the door. And we walk down past the beach, past the ocean, past the beautiful sand. The sun is shining on us. You hear the birds chirping, and the air just smells fresh and salty, and it smells so good. And I feel the ocean breeze on my face, and I'm just so happy to be alive. I'm just happy for no reason, and I feel this joy that I didn't feel for so many years of anhedonia and lack of emotion. And I almost have tears coming down my face because I am just so grateful to now feel all of these positive emotions. And we get to Panikin. There's a long line, but I don't care. We get in line. My husband's standing behind me, and we're just standing there and patiently waiting, talking about what pastry we're gonna get. There's an amazing pecan pie bar that they make that's probably thousands of calories, but YOLO, I don't care. We're treating ourselves today. And we get to the front of the line. I order a pecan bar. It's literally like pecan pie on a crust, like a pie crust base, but it's somehow a bar, and it is gooey, and I break off a piece and it's like brown sugar and vanilla and pecan, and it's so freaking good in my mouth, and it melts, and I get another latte. Iced this time. My husband gets a latte, and he also orders a pumpkin cream cheese muffin because he knows it's my other favorite, and he knows we're gonna split it because that's the fun of being married. And we sit down after we get our coffee and our pastries, and we sit down with Toby. Toby sits down. I give him a little bite of what I'm eating, only the dog-friendly parts. And people are coming up to us, telling us how cute he is, and we're smiling and we're laughing, and we run into some people that we know, and we're just talking about what we've been up to lately, and Toby says hi to their dog, and it's just a beautiful day. And my husband reaches across, he gives me his hand, and he just says, "Babe, the day has come. All of that hard work that you put in, all of that suffering you went through with protracted benzodiazepine withdrawal, with long COVID, all of that suffering and all of that healing work that you did with the brain rewiring, the DNRS, the inner child stuff, the meditations, the EFT, changing your diet, doing all of that, it finally paid off. And the day is finally here where you are reaping the reward and the benefit. We are reaping the reward and the benefit of that work that you did to heal yourself. Because of you, You healed your nervous system and your body, and you get to live this beautiful, healthy life because of you. And I'm so happy. And we get up, we finish our pastries, throw away the trash, and take our coffees, take Toby, and walk home. And we drop Toby off at home. We look at each other and we say, hey, do you want to walk to the farmer's market at the elementary school up the road? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it is summer. And there's going to be seasonal produce of delicious fruit and peaches and nectarines. And we need to buy stuff because we're having friends come over later for a game night. And we're going to sit on our patio outside overlooking the ocean. And I want to get beautiful, fresh flowers. And I'm wondering maybe if peonies are in season. And I know you can usually only get them at Trader Joe's, but I know they have them at the farmer's market sometimes at a flower stand. And my husband's going to get stuff to grill steak. There's a local sourced butcher who comes and has food and fresh meat there that we can buy. And I'm going to make a salad and a fruit salad, and I'm going to buy some desserts there to serve later. So we drop Toby off, I give him his food, I tell him what a good boy he is, and we walk out the door. And we walk down past the beach again. The sun is shining and you can smell the salt air, and I just feel at peace. There's no hurry, there's no rush. My limbic system and my nervous system are safe, and they're letting me take in all of this joy, all of this happiness, and I just am content. And I feel safe in my body. I feel happy, I feel at home, and I feel safe in my body. I feel safe in my marriage, in my relationship, in my day. We get to the school, we see all the vendors, we hear a guy singing acoustic guitar. They always have a performer at the farmer's market. He's singing badly. We make a joke, but he's a sweet guy, and we see him perform there quite a bit. And we have our tote bags that are empty and waiting to be filled with fresh produce. We wander around the farmer's market and we try a bunch of free samples of delicious, ripe, fresh, juicy fruit, and it's so, so good. And we buy peaches and nectarines and kale and chard and celery, because celery juice is a part of my daily morning routine still every morning. It's medicinal to me at this point. It's meditation. And my husband says, oh my gosh, there's the flower guy. There's the guy with the peonies. They have them. They're in season. And so he goes over and he buys me a giant bunch of peonies and comes back over, taps me on the shoulder and surprises me and hugs me. And I'm just so grateful. I have an amazing spouse who I love and trust with every fiber of my being. He gets the steak. I get all the other ingredients to make everything that I need. I go to some of the other stalls and I get desserts for later to serve to my guests. I get these beautiful, delicious desserts, put them in my bag. Then we stop at this fresh lemonade stand. It's this fresh squeezed lemonade. They have all these different flavors: strawberry, lime, raspberry, peach, and we decide on a strawberry fresh lemonade with like fresh pieces of strawberry and sugar on the top, and we decide to split one. Oh, and it's so hot and our coffee was kind of dehydrating. And so we split this refreshing ice cold strawberry lemonade. It tastes like heaven. It tastes so freaking good. And we stop at the crepe stand. We get a little crepe, and I know we've already had pastries, but it's fine. We're on an eating tour today. We don't care. And we can eat whatever we want. We don't have to worry about food allergies or MCAS histamine reactions or anything like that. Like, we can literally eat whatever we want, and our body feels so safe. It has no reactions. All food is possible for us. We can experience everything that this amazing farmer's market has to offer. And it's amazing. It's beautiful. We eat everything, throw our plates away, take what we bought, and walk home. Once again, walking by the beach, we see families out laughing, getting ready to go to the beach with shovels and buckets, and little kids with their boogie boards dragging behind them. We see people walking their dogs, talking, having a beautiful day. The dogs are holding balls or sticks and proudly displaying their branches. I make a joke that they are the assistant branch manager, like Dwight Schrute in The Office. We get back to our place and we say, it's so beautiful, and like, we have time before our friends get here. Do you want to go to the beach? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it would be the perfect day to go to the beach. It's hot, but like not terribly hot, and there's the ocean breeze. So we put on our bathing suits and we pack a cooler with some alcoholic beverages, because now I can drink alcohol post benzo withdrawal and post long COVID, and it has no negative effects on me whatsoever. And I'm so happy, because it's so fun to just have a little alcoholic beverage with your husband and cheers. And then I pack and I cut up some of the fresh fruit that we got at the farmer's market, and I put it in a cooler, and we get our towels and I take it downstairs, and then we go and walk to the beach. It's very close. Walk down the steps, have all of our stuff, and get to the bottom. My feet, I take my flip-flops off and I touch the warm sand with my toes, and it's warm, it's not too hot, and I sink into it a little bit, and it feels so good. That grounding of my body into the earth like that, it just feels so good. And we walk, we find a space to lay, we lay out our towels on the ground and lay in the sun for a little bit, take off our bathing suit cover-ups and just like lay in the sun. Hold hands, we look at each other and we're like, oh my God, we're just so glad this day is finally here, that I'm healed and I can do whatever I want, and we can live our lives how we want without restrictions from withdrawal or long COVID or chronic illness of any kind. We open up our little beverages, we cheers, and we say, to all of my hard work, to all of the healing, to us, to the future we now get to live and love and experience, because there's no withdrawal symptoms anymore, there's no chronic illness, there's no long COVID. Oh, and I'm just so fucking grateful, so grateful, excuse my language. Finally, we get to the point where we've been in the sun long enough, when we're feeling kind of hot, we're like, do you want to go in the ocean? Just like cool down. And I'm like, yes, let's go. So we get up, walk into the ocean, and the cool water hits my feet, and it feels so refreshing. It's so good after I've been in the sun. It feels so good. And we keep walking, and I'm holding my husband's hand, and the waves are nice. They're not too big. They're not like scary big. They're just perfect. And you see the waves coming in, breaking. You hear them. It's so beautiful. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna dive in. I can always shower later and do my hair again. I dive in, and I get my hair wet, and I come up, and I just feel refreshed. I feel like a little mermaid diving underneath the ocean. My husband dives in too. I come up, and I just put my arms around him, and I kiss him. And we just joke, and we play in the waves. We swim around a little bit. And it's just beautiful. I feel free. I feel at home in my body. I feel peace. I feel peace that I haven't felt in so many years since the benzos took that from me, and since long COVID made me ill. I feel peace, and I feel the sunshine, and I hear my husband's voice. I feel his hands reaching for mine under the ocean as we jump through waves and we swim around together, and we feel this beautiful, refreshing salt water. And there's no jellyfish or stingrays anywhere in sight, thank God, because that scares me. But you hear children on the shore talking. You see them building sandcastles, playing with their families. And I know one day soon we'll have a family of our own, and we'll bring them to the beach, and they'll have a healthy mom who can play with them. And I'll be so grateful I did this work to heal, and I did this trauma work to heal my inner child, so that I can give my future kids a beautiful childhood, a healthy childhood, a childhood they don't have to heal from. And we finally say, okay, we're tired, let's get out of the water. And so we walk back to our towels, we walk through the sand, we lay down on our towels, finish our beverages, we take out the snacks, and I bite into this juicy white nectarine, and it is so good. We're having peaches, and it just tastes so good. We let ourselves dry off in the sun, and it feels so good. Once we're dry, we look at each other, we say, okay, let's go back. We need to shower and get ready for our party and make all the food. So we head back, walk back to our house, pack up all our stuff at the beach, walk home, slowly taking in the beautiful day, taking in the scenery, the sound of the ocean, taking in our love for each other, holding hands. We finally get home, we shower, get clean, we start to get ready for the party, and I have the most beautiful new outfit that I bought. And when I was sick, I couldn't care less about shopping. I couldn't care less about makeup, what I look like, doing my hair, accessories, anything like that. But now I care about that stuff, and I get excited about little things like dressing up and choosing the right accessories. And I've chosen this adorable sort of coastal grandma outfit. I feel like Diane Keaton in one of her movies where she lives by the seaside. Or maybe I'm more of an Ina Gardner waiting for Jeffrey to come home while I entertain and cook with my gay friends. Either reality works for me. And I feel chic and I feel beautiful, and I put on these gold earrings. I put on this beautiful gold necklace and chain that I bought and these bracelets, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, it's me. It's me. Like the me that I lost through withdrawal, the me that I thought was gone forever when I lay in bed all those years. I am here. I'm here, and I was never gone. I was just hiding for a little bit. And I see myself, and I look in the mirror, and I see my eyes, and I look at the woman in front of me who's gone through so much, and all of the hard work she's put in has brought her here to this beautiful day. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful I didn't give up, and I'm so grateful I never quit on myself. And I kept showing up for the brain retraining, and I kept showing up, and I kept doing the work even when I didn't feel like it was working. I kept showing up. And because of this, I get to have these beautiful days with the people I love the most. Thank you. Thank you so much, universe, for showing me these tools. Thank you to myself for putting in the work, not giving up on myself on the days where you felt like suicide was the only option out for your suffering. I'm so grateful I didn't quit. I'm so grateful. And I go into the kitchen with my husband, and we start making food. And we make this beautiful salad with kale and fresh grape tomatoes, and red onion and fresh corn and burrata cheese that we also got fresh from the farmer's market, and fresh juicy peaches, and this homemade salad dressing I bought, and I drizzle it on and it looks gorgeous. I also have a fruit salad that I made, and I've made these beverages with fresh fruit in them, from sangria to fresh margaritas, potentially a passion fruit Moscow Mule, which is kind of my favorite beverage in the whole world. And people can have what they like. There's red wine, there's whatever. I also have Diet Coke because one of my best friends only drinks Diet Coke, and they're coming over. And they slowly start to show up one by one. My husband is outside grilling the steaks. Toby's hovering around him, hoping for something to drop on the floor. And he's grilling these steaks. My friends show up, and I offer them drinks, and they get little plates, and they start eating and taking the food. And finally, I start putting all the food on the table, and then everything's ready. And we all gather around outside, and we all sit down, and we just start talking and laughing. And there's the beautiful fresh peonies in the center that I got from the farmer's market. And these flowers remind me they're seasonal. All of our suffering is seasonal, and all seasons have a beginning and an ending. My season of suffering ended. And this beautiful new season of love and joy and health and happiness and prosperity blooms. And I'm living in it. And this beautiful season of my life is only because I stuck with this process. And I'm just so grateful to myself. I'm so grateful for this brain rewiring. I'm grateful for my body for healing. I'm grateful to my nervous system for being so resilient. I'm grateful for my brain for being able to rewire itself to feel safety constantly and live from a place of safety and not fear. Safety, healing, happiness. And we're talking and we're laughing and we're eating, and the food came out so well. The steak is juicy and tender and amazing, and the food, the salad, the fruit salad, the drinks, the fresh bread with a dipping sauce of olive oil and balsamic vinegar and some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And I can eat it all. I can eat gluten again, and it doesn't cause issues for me. And I eat this food, and it's nourishing, and I just feel good, and it gives me energy, and I can drink alcohol, and it doesn't make me ill. It just makes me feel giggly and free and relaxed. And I'm enjoying the company of these beautiful friends in my life that are just soul nourishing, because now I focus on relationships that nurture and nourish my nervous system and my soul. And I have boundaries that I have put into place with people that don't. I do not engage or interact with people who do not support my body's healing, its highest good, its nervous system, its feelings of safety. I don't interact with those people anymore. And we eat our food. we're laughing. Some of my best friends from high school are there, and we're joking and laughing about how dorky we used to be in high school and pulling up photos on our Facebook from when we dressed up for Halloween. My girlfriend dressed up as a cop and she was so short in this photo of me, and I don't even know what I was supposed to be. I think I barely put a costume together that year, but we're laughing. We're like, oh my God, look at you. Look at I used to wear this acne cream that I thought was invisible. It was supposed to be invisible, but I slathered it on this benzoyl peroxide, and I didn't realize until I looked at these former photographs that it like left these white marks on my face that were so white it made me look like insane, like I had a mask on. And so looking back, we're just like, oh my God, did I not own a hairbrush? Did I not own a straightener? Like, what was I thinking? Did I not know what makeup was? Like, who are you? And anyway, we're laughing, we're joking, finish dinner, and we go inside. We start playing games. We're playing drinking games. We're playing charades. We're playing Uno. We're playing the heads up game. We're playing trivia questions and like all of this stuff. And we're laughing so hard. We're having the best time. My husband and I are a team. We're playing against my friend Holly and her husband Derek, and playing against Beth and Anna Francesca and her boyfriend and Shane, and just having the best time. And Beth brought her little Yorkie Lucy, who absolutely hates my dog Toby, and it's the funniest interaction. They're like mortal enemies, but they just kind of ignore each other the whole night, and it's hilarious. But we're playing these games and we're laughing and we're laughing. We don't even realize it's midnight and we're old. We're in our 30s. We're like, oh my gosh, guys, like I love you so much. This has been the most beautiful night, but we're all tired and we're gonna just get in bed. My husband said, let's get in bed. Like, let's we say goodbye to all our guests. They start to leave. We thank them so much for coming over and just having the best time with us. Some of them bought housewarming gifts with them, and I'm so grateful. And they leave, we clean up, we get everything cleaned up and put away, and we put all the leftover food away. Not that there really was much leftover food because everyone loved it so much. And we decide to take off our clothes, put on our comfy clothes, our nighttime clothes, our pajamas and sweats and whatnot. And I wash my face, I feel clean, I do my skincare routine, and I can use all of the products that I want, and they no longer bother me. I can do whatever I want with my skin, and it no longer bothers me. It just helps give me this beautiful, clear, glowing skin. And I light one of the candles that my friend brought me as a housewarming gift, and it smells like pumpkin, because they know that pumpkin and fall is my favorite season ever, hence my shirt. The only thing getting lit tonight are my fall scented candles. And I smell this pumpkin smell, and the scent doesn't bother me. It actually, the flickering light of this beautiful candle, the ambiance, the way it adds to the coziness and feeling of the night is just beautiful. It's all beautiful. We get in bed, we turn on one of our favorite shows, probably The Office or Seinfeld or Kim's Convenience or Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I cuddle with my husband, and I put my head on his chest, and I feel so safe. I feel so protected. I'm in this beautiful, healed, loving marriage with a man who adores me and who nurtures my nervous system and looks after me emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And I just love him so much. I'm starting to drift off to sleep. Toby jumps in the bed, my Frenchie, who's breathing impaired, like they all are. And he curls up next to us and cuddles with us, and he finally is quiet and settled. We're like, oh, thank God. We set our TV timer to turn off because we probably know we're both gonna fall asleep before the show ends. And I just go to sleep feeling the biggest gratitude, most beautiful feeling of gratitude that I've felt in so long. I'm so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for my healing. I'm so grateful for the beautiful chance to experience health and healing and wellness and joy. I'm so grateful to experience this beautiful life. I'm so happy to be alive. I'm so happy to have these beautiful friendships that I've nurtured. I'm so happy to be able to have these experiences where I can go live my life without any symptoms, and I can live my life feeling nothing but joy and happiness. And I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for all the places I'm going to travel to. I'm so excited that I'm going to get to raise a family with this man who I love more than anything in the entire world. And I'm so grateful I'm going to get to do that all without any symptoms. I'm going to get to do that as a healthy person with a healthy nervous system. And I'm so grateful I just never gave up on myself. I'm so grateful I never gave up on my healing. I'm so grateful to myself. I love you. I'm so grateful to you for never giving up on yourself. You're living the life that you used to dream about. You're living the life you deserve. I'm so grateful for my healing. I'm so grateful for my brain, for being able to rewire itself. I'm so grateful for this beautiful, wonderful day. I'm so grateful that I'm healed. I'm so grateful that I'm healed. Okay. And that is what roughly half to 40 minutes of a DNRS round can look like. It can take many different forms. That's just one way. And as you can see, I made myself cry, AKA I triggered the emotions that I was trying to feel. I hope that you were able to feel it too. Obviously, that was a visualization that was very personal for me. I'll do another video where I help you create your own visualizations and give you tips. But the program itself, DNRS, the one that I linked to below, it gives you really great ideas of what you need to include in your visualizations in order to trigger that release of positive emotions. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope this is helpful to you. If this has been helpful to you, come back, listen to this as many times as you want every day for ideally 6 months or more. And I personally, when I started DNRS, don't know what that noise is. Oh, it's starting to rain. That doesn't happen in Southern California much, so I'm gonna go inside. But I hope that was helpful. Stick with it. Within the first week of starting DNRS, I saw a huge positive change in my mental well-being and my physical well-being. You can heal. I believe in you. Keep going. You can heal yourself. You are the medicine. Never forget that. You can heal.